Folks, related to our topic today, our trivia question asks, according to the 2022 Ag Census, how many vegetable farms are there here in Iowa that were reported by the Ag Census in 2022? So go ahead and put your guess in the chat, and we will reveal the answer. We're really looking forward to our conversation coming up in just a minute or two.
Give me 1 minute here to get some things sorted out on my end. Okay, so remember everybody, we are recording. It's also live streaming on Facebook. So we would love if after our discussion with Matt today, you go and share this with your friends, your people, anybody who you think is interested. And then later on, it will also be posted to IFU's YouTube page. Our trivia is in the chat. And Aaron, if you want to go ahead and get started, I think we're all set.
Very good. Well, welcome everyone. This is the Iowa Farmers Union Lunch and Learn. We are so grateful you're joining us on the second day of January. We are so happy to be joined by our guest, Matt Russell, Executive Director of the USDA Farm Service Agency here in Iowa. Thank you for being with us, Matt.
Aaron, thank you very much. It's always great to be with Iowa Farmers Union.
Well, we're really looking forward to our discussion today. We have a very timely topic. And a very important topic. Before we get started, I want us to just give a couple updates about some ongoing Farmers Union activities. We are in the near the end stages of our fundraising campaign, our $40,000 in 40 days fundraising campaign. Iowa Farmers Union is made up of so many kind, warm, and generous people. Thank you for donating to the campaign. If you have done so already, send in your pledge if you've done so and still need to send in your pledge. It is not too late to participate, and we have a few days left in that campaign. So please join in making our organization stronger at such an important period for family farming in Iowa. So please consider joining and giving to the fundraising campaign. 40,000 in 40 days. We are well on our way towards our goal that we are making our final push to get there. A couple other announcements. Next Thursday, Alan Guibert will be joining us. He is the author of the Farm and Food File, and he'll be talking about all things related to ag and politics in the new year. So make sure you sign up for that. Next Thursday, our regular time, Alan Guibert will be joining us. We're looking forward to that very much. On January 23rd, the Iowa Food System Coalition will be hosting our Food Justice Lobby Day, taking place at the state capitol in Des Moines. So put that on your calendar. Much more information is headed your way about the Iowa Food System Coalition Food and Farm Lobby Day. In addition to that, the Iowa Farmers Union Lobby Day is scheduled for February 18th. So it's an excellent opportunity for Farmers Union members to gather and talk with one another, to learn about the issues, and then bring that message to policy leaders at the State House. So it's an excellent opportunity to get together on Tuesday, February 18th. The National Farmers Union Convention is taking place March 9th through 11th. We're really looking forward to that. That's taking place in Oklahoma City. Just a drivable distance, or some people will want to fly. So if you want to put that on your calendar, that's March 9th through 11th. It's never too early to plan for that fantastic opportunity to get together. And we know we're going to have a really exciting Iowa presence at the National Farmers Union Convention. So all those things are taking place, and thank you, Christina, for putting the information in the chat about those upcoming activities. Before we go any further, though, let's jump into our conversation. Our guest today is Matt Russell. He was appointed by the Biden administration to serve as the state executive director of the USDA Farm Service Agency here in Iowa. He's a fifth-generation Iowa farmer who grew up on a crop and livestock farm, and he now co-owns and operates Coyote Run Farm with his husband, Patrick Stanley, near Lacona. Matt earned his master's degree in rural sociology from Iowa State University and has a bachelor's degree from Loras College. And he has a passion for Iowa agriculture and rural America and has written so frequently on the subject for all sorts of local, statewide, and national outlets. He is a true friend of the Iowa Farmers Union, and we are so grateful for his service to Iowa farmers in this past administration. And today we are here to talk about the Marketing Assistance and Specialty Crops Program that is now open for applications, and it's such an important piece of the puzzle for growing specialty crops here in Iowa. And before we go any further, Matt, and before we jump in, we should give a quick answer to our trivia question. The trivia question asks, how many vegetable farms were there in Iowa that were recorded by the Ag Census in 2022? And let's put that answer in the chat if we could. Christine just did that. 1,059 according to the Ag Census in 2022. But we know there are a lot more vegetable farmers in Iowa than that, but that's what was recorded in the Ag Census. But Matt, this program is an important program, and we have an important deadline to reach for the marketing assistance for specialty crops. So thank you for being with us here today, Matt, to tell us about this program in particular.
Yeah, Aaron, thank you for having me. And this is a very unique program. I've been doing back when I met you back in '99, when I came back to Iowa, having left Las Vegas teaching for a couple of years, came back to Iowa to work with Catholic Rural Life. And you know, since that time, talking with folks, there's been a lot of interest in more support for specialty crop growers. That'd be fruit and vegetable growers, nut growers, horticulture, just, you say specialty crops, but it really is this big list of different crops. And there's been a lot of discussion, like, where's the subsidy? Where's the support? Why aren't we why doesn't USDA make these investments in specialty crop growers? Well, that's this program. I'll be honest, it would have been nice to have a longer runway, more days, but we have what we have. And with a change in administration, we really want to make sure that we're getting this to the finish line, which is why we have a absolutely hard and fast date, January 8th. That is this coming Wednesday, when the office closes at 4:30, January 8th. There will not be another opportunity. There'll be no extensions. There'll be no additional opportunities to get in and get your application filed. So that's the most important thing. That is a hard and fast deadline. The other thing to think about is, well, who's eligible? And so if you are a farmer that is planning to grow specialty crops in 2025, this calendar year, you very well may be eligible. And if you have grown specialty crops in 2023, grown and sold in 2023 or 2024, all you need to do is go back to your records, identify what that total sales were for specialty crops, choose 23 or 24, take that number and put it on the application, sign it, submit it. It is that simple.
Wow.
And if you are a brand new producer, or you did not sell in 2023, 2024, you've been a farmer for a while, but those 2 years you didn't have specialty crops, but you're planning to have specialty crops in 2025, then you may actually also be eligible, but you're going to have to fill out a little bit more paperwork because you don't have pre-existing sales to use. You have to make projected sales for 2025. So that is the threshold. Am I growing specialty crops in 2025, planning to sell them? And then if I have a record of those sales from 2023 and 2024, I choose whichever year I want to do. And that's it. That is the entirety of the application. There's supporting documents that you're going to have, but you've got some more time to get those in the door once you've made the application. But if you don't get into the office and file that application, then there's no chance to get into the program. So I'll come up for air and we can continue to walk through scenarios and different things. But if you're growing specialty crops in 2025, we really encourage you to look at this program.
Yeah, and I think that is so important for people to understand. Remind us what the funds can be used for instance. You know, we a little bit about what qualifies as a specialty crop. But you know, is there any specific criteria what the funds can be used for?
Well, that is an excellent question, Aaron. I'm gonna bounce it back to you, right? Mm-hmm. So you've probably participated in the Title I commodity programs.
Yes.
Right. So if you were eligible for, say, ARC County or PLC, if you were in the last several years, if you were eligible for a payment, what were you required to spend that payment on?
You know, it was just for the support of the farmers who are growing those crops. And
so
that's all the criteria.
That is the answer. This is a payment like a commodity payment in that way that if you're eligible for a payment, you get the payment, and then you're going to use that payment however you want to, right? It's a payment based on your production, based on your farming operation. And the formula is based on the fact that marketing has gotten more expensive in the last several years. And so that's the criteria. The payment is based on the fact that marketing has got more expensive. And so this payment is making up for those additional expenses. But you do not have to show your marketing expenses from the past or your marketing expenses going forward. That is not part of this program. It is just that you've had specialty crop sales in 2023 or 2024, and that you are going to have specialty crop sales in 2025. And then if you didn't in 2023 or 2024, you do have to do a worksheet to show that you're eligible because you plan to grow them in 2025.
But you know, there's nothing about keeping your receipts for reimbursement or anything like that. It's simply that simple. The application is very straightforward, and the use of the funds are very, very flexible. A couple questions and things to remember. This is a big program around the, you know, it's for the entire country. Remind us how much money is available for this nationwide.
So Secretary Vilsack and USDA, per his authority, has allocated $2 billion.
Okay.
And there is a hard and fast payment limitation of $125,000. So if I'm a big operation and I'm, you know, fruit and vegetable operation, and I'm growing millions and millions of dollars worth of specialty crops, my limitation for this payment is $125,000. So the plan is that this money is going to be spread very widely across all different kinds of producers. The other thing is that it is a tiered, there is a tiered payment structure. And so I don't have those in front of me, but I did put in the chat the link to the USDA page, where that's the landing page for the marketing assistant for specialty crops. That will give you, on that page, you can find, you know, the tiers, you can find what is a specialty crop, you can find all the information. I believe you can even, from that landing page, you should be able to get to the application itself and all the documents you need. So
yeah, and for those of us who are listening, for all those of us who's listening, it's very straightforward. Go to the FSA website under resources and programs, and you'll be directed right there. So very easy for us. And yes, the link is in the chat. Thank you for sharing that with us.
And I see Julia had just thrown on there that the first tier is up to $49,999. So if you are a specialty crop grower in Iowa and you have sold less than $50,000 in 2023 or 2024, and you want to, then you're in that first tier, which is going to be the highest payment scenario, right? It's not the highest payment, but based on your sales, the applied payment will be theoretically a higher percentage of those sales than if you sold, over $1 million.
Yeah. Matt, there's been a big emphasis to encourage all farmers to register and make sure that they have their farm information at the FSA office. And I know a lot of folks have done that, and there's been a huge push by this administration so that all farmers can participate in farm programs. What happens if someone hasn't been registered yet? Is they're still eligible for this program, and in order to get that done? Yeah.
Yep, correct. So there will be some paperwork that they're going to have to get filed, but if they get that application in, then that's what they need to get started. So this is for existing specialty crop growers. And when I say existing, it does not mean that you are an existing FSA specialty crop grower. Right. I went in, so Pat and I, our farm, I went in and did my application on my own time, not paid for by the taxpayers, but I had time off and I went in, and we are the only farm in Marion County that does crop reporting for specialty crops. And we've done that for years because that has opened doors for other opportunities for us, particularly the Conservation Stewardship Program. But we know that there are far more than one specialty crop grower in Marion County. You do not have to have had the crop reporting. You do not have to have specialty crops on a 578 to apply for this program. So that is not a threshold. That does not keep you from participating in this program. Building that relationship, and this is what I've said as I've been on here before, this administration has been very, very committed to encouraging the culture of our county offices to be welcoming people in the door. And I feel very confident that we've made a lot of advancements in that direction. The team I get to lead, very passionate about serving all farmers. So this is an opportunity to get in there, build that relationship, and have them help you fill out this application. Now, you've got to provide all the information. They can't provide the information for you, but they can walk you through the process. If you have questions, is this a specialty crop or not? What's this form? They can help with all of that. And the only challenge is that we only have, the rest of this afternoon, and then Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's a very narrow window at this point.
Very good. Hey, we just have a few more questions coming in, Matt. Someone is listening, and they grow vegetables and they sell nursery plants. Do both of those qualify? There's a question to ask. And then also, should they report them separately and just one lump sum?
So one lump sum.
Yep, easy.
So all you have to do is go back to your records and pull together everything that qualifies as a specialty crop. And again, go to the USDA page and look through that list and go to the fact sheets and all those things to figure this out. That total is the one number that you put on the application. And then you may be asked to provide documentation. You do not have to have this if you're an existing specialty crop grower. You don't need this for the application. You just need the application. However, there are spot checks. You could be asked to provide the supporting documentation, and you'll have about 15 days to do that if you're asked. So you don't want to make things up, right? But you also, you're making your best estimate, pulling things together. But whatever number is on that application, you need to be able to provide documentation. And you can use your tax records, you can use spreadsheets, you can use sales receipts. There's not just one way. There's a real broad way. Essentially, you're going to put that information in front of the county committee, and the county committee is going to look at that and say, we believe you. This all makes sense, right? You grew this much, you had this much sales, you've got this much on, land in your farm, right? Like all the pieces together have to make sense. You've got deposits from the bank, like whatever it is that you can pull together. So self-certified, this is what you did, but then you'll have to support that with additional documentation if you're asked. But you don't have to have that at the time of application.
Sure. Well, and one of the big questions we get is, well, how much am I eligible on my farm? And as we said, there's a formula that will tell you how much you're eligible for. And that
and we don't know what that formula is yet. So just to be fair, right, we do not know what those payments are going to be. We don't know how many people are going to apply. I can tell you that you know, there's 1,059 growers in the 2022 census of ag. We're not even close to that many applications yet in Iowa. So we know there are a lot of folks out there that are likely eligible for this program that have not yet applied. And when at the end of the day on January 8th, however many people apply, that's the only people that are eligible for the $2 billion. So, you know, this is likely to be, you know, I can't even ballpark it, but I'll just say it's likely to be a payment that's worth the time that it would take to put together an application, go in and put that in front of your county office.
it certainly sounds like it, and you said that we've got just a few days left to apply, but boy, it sure sounds like this is a good opportunity, and it is one that we really want to make sure people are aware of to provide support for their specialty crop farm, no matter almost regardless of size. It sounds like it would be a worthwhile opportunity to apply.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to overpromise that, you know, and I'm not the expert on this. The county office is ready to answer questions and ready to go. So whatever your farm situation is, make sure you're talking to the county office. Don't just make the assumption based on what I'm talking about, but get in there and talk to the expert that can help you get your application made. New producers, so people who have not grown specialty crops in the past or did but not in 2023 and 2024, those new producers, they have a little bit higher hurdle to clear because they have to basically do a worksheet that shows how, like, you know, that in fact they are farming. So you have to be farming in 2025. If you don't, you have to have land right here. You've got to be in the business of farming. So you have to have an active business operation with assets and resources needed to grow, harvest, and market a specialty crop in calendar year 2025. So if you're a new producer, you've got to show that. And then you've also got to be entitled to an ownership share and share in the risk of producing a specialty crop that will be sold in 2025. So just a scenario, right? So I'm a new entity, right? I'm taking over the family orchard. This is the year I'm taking over the family orchard. So I don't have any sales in my farming entity, but I'm in 2025 going to be, you know, farming or growing for that orchard. So I would then need to establish that I will have the ownership, I will have the risk, and this is the production, you know, capability of the orchard. And then based on some third-party, you know, prices and volume of yield and things like that, since I don't have a history, I'll have to use other supporting documentation to establish what my expectation of sales is going to be.
Well, very good. And you know, there was a question asked. You know, there are $2 billion for this program around the country. Do we know how much is allocated for Iowa yet, or is that yet to be determined?
Totally yet to be determined, because my understanding is that they will take, this will be a national payment. It won't be state by state. It'll be a national payment. They'll take all the applications, they'll put them into those tiers, and then they'll run some kind of formula that takes the $2 billion and allocates it in a way that is based on, you know, the numbers that are on the applications, and then the factoring based on the tiers allocated across, you know, with payment limitations. So there'll be a fairly complicated formula that they use, and it doesn't matter whether you're applying from California or from Iowa. It'll all be pooled together. The main thing will be, you know, the tier to determine what that percentage of your of your projected, either your past sales for existing producers or future sales of the new producers.
Well, very good. So we don't have any experience with this program. It's a new program, so we don't have a lot of history to go on, but by all indications, it does seem like a worthwhile opportunity to pursue for specialty crop growers here in Iowa. So thank you so much for sharing this information. Again, how do people get more information about it? What's the best way? Maybe you want to share that link again with us.
Yeah. I think I put it in, it's a, USDA.gov resources /programs /marketing -- so grab it from the chat. I think it's there. Aaron, I can email you. I'll email you guys some information when I get off of this, so that Iowa Farmers Union has it. And if people want to reach out to you you can just distribute that information. So I do want to say it's just been an incredible honor to be part of the Biden-Harris administration, and what in my mind some very creative and innovative, flexible things that Secretary Vilsack and USDA has done in the last 4 years. And I think this is one of those, as we're coming to the end of this administration, an additional effort to really try to reach out to producers that we historically haven't supported as much as other producers. And this is a way to use the resources that taxpayers, send to the federal government, and USDA then figures out how to use those resources to support agriculture in rural communities. And just really proud to be part of that, and really proud to be, pushing this out the door here as one of the final things to support specialty crop growers.
Well, it certainly has been a focus of the administration to reach out to the broad spectrum of agriculture, and this is one example of that. We are very grateful for your service in this administration, Matt, to reach out to the broader agriculture community, the diverse agriculture community we have here in Iowa. So thank you for those efforts. A lot of people are asking, Matt, what your next steps are. What's next for you as this administration winds down and we go into a transition period? A lot of people asking about what's next for Matt Russell.
Well, thank you, Aaron. Pat and I, we live here at the farm in Marion County, and I will continue to be doing that. January 21st, I'll be done with this public service. And so I'll be looking, for continuing to be actively involved in agricultural leadership in Iowa, and continuing to work to advance the kinds of things that this administration advanced. And at some point, I'll probably be looking for a job, but for the first little bit, I'll be doing some projects at the farm and doing some writing, and trying to be involved in ways that maybe I wasn't when I was fully engaged on a daily basis with USDA. But planning to stick around, planning to farm, planning to be part of hopeful and abundant opportunities for Iowa agriculture.
Well, we're looking forward to that, Matt, and we want to hear more about it coming in the future. Make sure you use the same background. We want to see the progress on the attic there. That's very exciting. We all have those projects on our farms that we get to this time of year as well. So. But most importantly, we are so grateful for your service, and not just these 4 years as part of the Biden administration, but your involvement in Iowa agriculture at various levels. We are very, very grateful for, Matt, and we know that your work will continue, and we're looking forward to following and hearing more about it. So thank you so much from the Iowa Farmers Union.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much. Great to be with everybody.
Well, everyone, that we were very grateful that Matt Russell could join us today to tell us all the details about this important program, and hopefully folks can use that information and get signed up as the deadline approaches for this important program. This is the Iowa Farmers Union Lunch and Learn series, and we are grateful for this opportunity to share about things that are important to family farmers, to sustainable agriculture, and to thriving rural communities. And it's part of our mission to share this information And we are so grateful for the Farmers Union family. We have a very generous organization. We are in the midst of our 40,040 days fundraising program, and we are well on our way to our goal, but we are not there yet, and we want to encourage people to participate. If you've already made a pledge, please send in your pledge as soon as possible, but it is not too late. We are very grateful for the folks in the Farmers Union to know that the way we make a real difference is by working together and by finding our common vision and acting on that vision, by organizing, by informing, and for demanding real change in Iowa. So please consider donating to the Farmers Union 40,040 day campaign. Remember, next week, we're going to be joined by Alan Guibert, January 9th, and we'll talk about all things farming and policy and politics in the new year. We're looking forward to that very, very much. So everyone, have a good day. Thank you so much, Christina. We really appreciate you pulling everything together for us to bring this message out to the general public and to our farmers. And Matt Russell, thank you again for joining us. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.